This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me as always my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
Came a long way from episode 3.
I was only thinking about this today, right? When is our Avatar episode going to release? Is that going to be this year or next year?
What do you mean our Avatar episode?
Avatar, what's it called? Fire and Ash?
The third one?
Yeah, the third one. When's that releasing?
It's
in our
going
schedule?
to be Fuck man, why
It's coming out at the end of the year. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, motherfucker. It's releasing December 24th.
December 24th, Christmas Eve present. So this year we will have Avatar, we'll have The Last of Us Season 2, and we'll have M3gan 2.0. So we've had our first 3 episodes, we've had sequels to those all in this year.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's very coincidental. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think Steven Spielberg is making The Fabelmans 2. So maybe he'll sneak surprise release that and we'll get all 4 episodes. But otherwise, the first 3 episodes, it's a nice little round, what's it called? Full circle moment. That's
there you go.
Yeah.
That's a 100% would have been able to help you finish that sentence.
Appreciate it. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning listener, also welcome. We've new episodes every single Wednesday as well as bonus episodes every other weekend. Make sure that you're subscribed to us on your favourite podcasting app of choice. You can follow us on YouTube at Another Happy Studios. All of the links are in the descriptions down below, just like our recommendations at the end of the episode and our trailer of the week, who Brian, my good friend over there, is going to tell us about.
Okay, I know you didn't watch this trailer.
Oh, okay.
And this is definitely a me thing.
Okay.
This is something that I would... What? I'm sure you'll say. But this trailer came out a few weeks ago. I was tempted to bring it up in our last episode, but there was a few other significant things that were a priority. But I think nothing's come out as of right now, so I'm content to avail of this opportunity to talk about Black Ops 7.
Black Ops 7. Okay, I guess we're doing video games now
I'm a
as well.
Call of Duty fan. I'm a devoted Call of Duty fan.
You're a devoted Call of Duty story fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people would be on the other end of the spectrum, like devoted multiplayer.
So a little bit about me is that every time since I think maybe Call of Duty Black Ops, when was that? 2008?
Yeah, 2009 maybe?
Yeah, because Black Ops 2 was 2012.
Yeah. Could have been 2010 then. I can look it up if you want to keep talking. I'll give you the date.
So ever since then, I've been following the Black Ops franchise, specifically the campaigns. Could not give a rat's ass about the multiplayer or the online. And if there were zombies, I'd say 1 in every 3 times I would have ventured down to it.
Yeah, it was 2010.
2010. Okay, so should have known that actually it was 2 years later because Treyarch...
They go back and forth, don't
Treyarch and Activision do go back and forth, and then Sledgehammer was introduced.
Yeah.
And into a different cycle. Now it's all over the place because we had 2 Modern Warfare games released back to back, and then we have had 2 Black Ops games releasing back to back. One set in the prequel, which is a sequel spin-off prequel, and now this is just a direct sequel to the sequel.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't followed Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. I think that was the last game I played.
So come here till I ask you, do you remember anything from Call of Duty Black Ops 2?
I remember Black Ops 2 being the one that you could change the story depending on what you did.
Minor decisions, yeah.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know that until towards the end, because you have the option to kill the villain, Raul Menendez. See, when I was a kid, I was a big achievement hunter. So there were achievements that I would have been going for straight away. Like that would be the first thing I would do is check the achievements. So there would have been some like, oh, stop so-and-so at this level. But then I get to the level and I didn't stop them, but the story continued. I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. So you can stop. And I think Michael Rooker was in it, maybe. Oh, Michael Rooker. So every Call of Duty game will have yourself as the main protagonist, but then you'll have your best friend sidekick who's the shit talker and the rough and tough type of guy to get shit done. Out of all of them, Michael Rooker playing Mike Harper was my favourite. And I was so full of joy when I heard him speak because I recognised his voice instantaneously when he appeared on screen. And he's coming back.
Is he? Okay.
Michael Rooker's coming back playing Mike Harper.
So when is this one set? Because I know Black Ops 2 is now set in the past, even though when it came out it was in the future.
Well,
we're now in the future of Black Ops 2.
Well, technically, it goes into 2027. From
27, okay.
No, it's set in 2025, but it goes into 2027.
Okay.
So Black Ops 7 is set in 20, and I know no one gives a fuck about Black Ops 7 campaign. I don't care. This is our podcast, and I'm talking about it. So,
where else are you going to get a chance to?
No.
I wouldn't talk about this with you normally. I'd be like, right, I have not followed it since.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. I remember playing about 5 minutes. No, I'd say I played a couple of hours of the one that Conor McGregor was in. And Kit Harington.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
think it
was Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. I started playing that, and I bought World War II.
Yeah.
Never played World War II, though.
I liked Infinite Warfare because it was the closest thing for me to explore Halo in Call of
I
Duty.
guess so, yeah.
You know? But a lot of people didn't like that because it was the most futuristic Call of Duty. Yeah.
But I've not seriously played a game since Black Ops 2. I remember being big on Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, the multiplayer with that. But other than that, I'm
strictly campaign we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm a big campaign guy myself. Anyway.
I think they do a decent job with the campaigns.
If they're engaging, yeah. I think I heard Modern Warfare, the remaster of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 were quite good. But Modern Warfare 3 was basically just a DLC for 2. And that they pushed out as a full game.
Well, no, Modern Warfare, they've rebooted the whole franchise, and now we have a Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 as a reboot. Like, they're all yearly releases.
Yeah, but 3 was supposed to just be a DLC for 2, and they repackaged it and reskinned it to be a full-fledged game.
Oh yeah, no, they 100%. The way it ended off, we should be getting a 4th. But yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, set in 2035. I didn't know it was... Well, I knew it was going to be Black Ops 7, because at this point, they could just go all the way to Black Ops 15, and it could be about whatever.
Yeah.
But halfway into the trailer, we see this robot droid, the service droid, bringing this supposed soldier into a gallery and to be introduced to the future of warfare. And this Milo Ventimiglia looking guy, and it's him, it's Milo, the actor. Do you know Milo?
No, not at all.
What was he in? He's Rocky Balboa's son. He's that actor.
Okay.
He's actually a big enough actor.
I've only seen the Creed movies.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in there, and I didn't know who he was. Oh, it must just be a new character. And in comes this hologram recording of what I've later learned to be Kieran Shipka from Mad Men.
Cool.
I didn't recognize her because she's got dark hair and everything. She's like the CEO of this new tech company.
I did see this trailer, actually. Yeah,
What?
I did see this trailer. I watched the Xbox showcase. Completely forgot. Yeah, I've seen this trailer. Yeah, and it's like moving into like a digital world. Almost.
Yeah, because then there's this like little bot fly that goes onto the TV, and then we get into a bit of a surrealism take on alternate realities of what the future may be, and it's just a tease of what the feel of the game's going to be.
Yeah,
and the cute and fucking kick-ass cool music. And it actually caught my attention at this point. And then we see the little robot butterfly that's been flying around, just a little bright red thing, into the darkness, and then this hand comes in, talking of fear is a powerful thing, crushes the butterfly robot. Don't you agree, David Mason? The protagonist from Black Ops 2, Sam Worthington's character's son, coming back, and he speaks Menendez. We're fucking back. Just by that fact alone, that they're bringing back these characters and my favourite villain from the Black Ops franchise back in this. I don't care that the whole last game back in 2012 ended with multiple options, and why do we have legacy sequels? Enough said. And I later learned that Michael Rooker is coming back to play Mike Harper. He's like 70 at this point. Michael
Rooker, he's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old, but he's playing like, I don't know, a 40, 50-year-old man. But I don't care. So I'm looking forward to this game. I actually was falling out of the Call of Duty franchise because the last few games have been like, yeah, whatever. But this is making me hop aboard the train again.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it.
I think I'd like a game, kind of like a what-if game, where each mission is like, what if this thing in the history, like even just the history of the Black Ops games or the Call of Duty games, like what if this had happened? What if we hadn't been able to stop this?
Are you talking about pick one moment in history and something has happened differently, and therefore that's taken effect to our present time? Wolfenstein's one of those games, isn't it?
I believe so,
Yeah, where Germany won the war.
Yeah, but imagine that as Call of Duty, but each mission is like a different...
Oh, I don't know, I think that'd be a bit too much.
I don't know, I think a one-off game like that.
Maybe a game, but not necessarily a Black Ops game. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, though. David, I think we should better move on.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about, I guess, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We're here instead to talk about M3gan 2.0. M3gan 2.0.
They marketed that, not us.
Yeah.
It's Model 3 something, so...
What do you think? What do you remember? Did you watch... You didn't watch M3gan going into this one, the original. You didn't go back and watch it, did you?
Not going into it, but I did watch it recently.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you stand on that one?
I thought the first M3gan was very good for what it was, and I thought for what fun it was, it took itself a bit seriously, and I was on board with it. I remember liking the idea that because the aunt Gemma was so detached emotionally to her niece Katie, that Katie then formed an attachment to the next closest thing she saw as a guardian, and that was M3gan. And M3gan, a robot that can't see anything beyond black and white and ones and zeros, that if you are an indirect harm or potential harmful cause to Katie, I need to remove you. And I like how, like we talked about already, but when they marketed the moments where she's dancing and she crawls on all fours, it's creepy in the woods, and she doesn't mind killing a few bullies, ripping their ears off and such like that. Like I was even going through our TikTok catalogs and posting them as a little bit of a marketing play for us to release all these things we talked about the first one in anticipation for this sequel. So I liked it, and it was good, and I liked the possibility of what the character M3gan was thinking, that she wants to be part of the family, she wants to co-parent Katie with Gemma, and the more they pushed her away and refused her and shut her out as the monster, she would get more pissed off about it, you know, Sam and Katie's head, you ungrateful little bitch, and that type of stuff. But yeah, I like the first one.
I think that the sequel, M3gan 2.0, it suffers from the same thing that a lot of sequels suffer from, which is the bad guy of the first movie is now a good guy in the second movie.
Is that a suffer though?
I think, yeah, well, so I would directly compare a lot of, say, the first, maybe the second act, I'd compare a lot of it to Terminator 2, where it is very much a robot that's there to help our main protagonist. They're willing, so like Katie is the John Connor.
Yeah.
They're willing to accept the help, but then the matriarch, so Gemma and Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, like are reluctant to help or reluctant to trust it because of the experience they've had in the past. And then the whole like the robot making quips and stuff like that and not harming humans. Like I know that obviously
being a shit talker, you know.
Yeah. M3gan has the chip in her head, and the Terminator just like has to follow John's orders.
Yeah.
So I felt like a lot of it was very reminiscent of that until about the third act. Then it seemed to change it up a little bit. I liked it a lot, but I wish it had committed to something that it started to do towards the end.
What's that?
So just before the main villain is revealed, the
fucking plank,
the Elon Musk type Christian,
fake Elon Musk.
But there is a moment where you do think, oh, M3gan was behind it all the whole time.
Yeah.
And I did kind of like that. I was like, oh, that would actually be
a real pull.
I believed, oh, this is a Terminator 2 like film.
That they're trying to redeem the villain from the first movie.
And they pulled the rug out from under me because at no point had I suspected that M3gan had evil intentions.
Yeah,
you know?
scheming.
So when they're like, well, who else could it be? And the door opened and M3gan was there just going along with whatever she was doing. I was like, oh, okay, that's actually really interesting. I think that you've tricked me.
Yeah.
But then they didn't commit to it, and they did, just have it be that it was someone else entirely. It was a human factor.
You gotta think of it from the Suits' point of view.
They want a third M3gan movie.
And they want to keep the brand. And the fact that they got lucky that the brand of M3gan was so popular, she's now associated to the likes of Chappelle Roan and poppy sort of crowds.
Yeah.
And
sure, what was it? The first teaser was just her dancing.
yeah, to Chappelle Roan.
Yeah.
And Slay Bitch and fucking dancing in like feel good environments. That's what they're aiming for now.
Yeah.
There was elements and remnants of that in the first one, particularly of how she dressed as well. But even now more so, they've upgraded her now to the point where she's growing. She's now a teenager, M3gan.
I'd say that must be to do with the actress.
Of course it's got to do with the actress, but I think it complements it as well. I like the idea that they've retained the actress Amy Donald, dancer from New Zealand, and they've also retained the TikTok social media star Jenna Davis to do the voice.
I don't know her.
I don't know any of them either.
I'm sure if I looked her up, maybe I might recognize her. But yeah, no, they retained the whole cast pretty much.
Yeah, and I like that. And I like that overall they are thinking we want to preserve the brand, the model, the avatar in that of M3gan and all the culture she's drawn into, which generates money for them. So that's why they made her good in this movie. And I don't have a problem with it. I actually really don't. Because overall, as much fun as I enjoyed with this movie, that was only because of the character of M3gan. Everything else is like
ancillary.
I thought the acting was appalling.
Really?
I thought the dialogue was so poor. The character, a lot of the characters, particularly that FBI agent with the mustache chewing the gum, fucking dork from WandaVision, the neighbor. That's who that guy was.
Yeah.
And I thought, Elon Musk, a plank. And I thought that at least the friends, her colleagues, were upgraded a little bit. But then in comes fake Matt Berry, and that's an insult to
Jermaine Clement.
Yeah, because Jermaine Clement's actually a pretty good actor and a good comedian. But I remember him in Avatar too, and here he is coming in here to play like a cheap Matt Berry, Russell Brand. There's another character or actor I'm trying to think of to compare him to, but the way even he came across, I thought they were pulling a bit of strength when they were going all in with him being just so blind to the fact that he's about to be assassinated because he thinks he's about to get his dick wet. But then he rips the fucking shirt off and he's got this artificial pecs chest on him. And I thought that the setup with his character and how the villain Amelia was going to take him out. She hacked his technical thing, whatever they want to call it. That's how much I paid attention to the science of it all. I paid no attention to the dialogue in this. This is nearly borderline Godzilla x Kong dialogue. Yeah. The New Empire dialogue. But I thought it was good that she made what Jermaine Clement see was what she was seeing. So he saw himself screaming, so he can't see anymore. He's not blind really, because what he sees is himself. It's like you're looking at a mirror, but you can't,
you've no control over what you're doing.
He tries to kick her, but how can you do that when you're not looking at what you're trying to kick?
You don't know the distance from it. You're seeing it all.
So
from
I thought that was a creative kill. I liked it, and I thought, thank fuck she ripped out his spinal cord, because I was getting very tired of that character so quickly, just because of how obnoxious he was.
He was very silly in a world that's supposed to be kind of a real world, and the robots are supposed to be the uncanny valley, the oddities within the world. He just felt like a bit of an oddity himself.
There you go. Silly, because I didn't think the first movie was silly. I took the first movie very seriously, and I thought this guy, even him just alone in the nightclub up by the DJ box and just playing music along, I thought, kill this guy and be done with him. And then I was thinking the same with the FBI guy, and when he got a spear impaled into him, finally he's gone. He's still fucking alive. That is not possible.
I was going to say it suffers. I don't think it suffers. Well, maybe it does suffer. You can tell me. But another thing that the film does with it being a sequel that normally I would praise, normally I would say this is a good decision, is that it changes genres. So the original one is a horror movie.
Horror, thriller, comedy. Whereas this takes away all horror.
This is
altogether.
action.
Yeah.
There's no horror. I thought maybe that we might get some horror elements because there's a bit at the very beginning, kind of in the prologue almost, with Amelia, where she's in a guy's suitcase and she kind of crawls out of the suitcase and the body distortion and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, we're going for a little bit of body horror or something like that. But then they completely abandon it entirely. It's very much just an action adventure, you know. It's just like fighting and stuff like that with all the characters from Katie to Gemma to Megan to Amelia. Like they're all fighting in some capacity.
Yeah, but I'd say up until the point where Megan does come on screen, that's when I felt myself lift up. That's when I raised my eyebrows and paid attention, because everything beyond that point, Gemma writing a book, Katie narrating
it's all like
been getting up to
catch up.
But the catch up is just poorly done.
You don't really need it entirely.
No, it's not that you don't need it. You just need a better writer. I just thought it was so fucking shit. Maybe not shit, but I think it was just overall the acting. I thought the actress who plays Gemma was poor here. I didn't think that in the first one, but she was here. And everything else with the parenting aspect, always being late, not treating our colleagues well, and then the colleagues being fucking thing 1 and thing 2 in their own right, trying to show off the new device where it gives you
exoskeleton.
The exoskeleton. Like, that's played a part into it later on into the movie, but it feels like I think you just said it perfectly. They brought silly into the human characters when silly should only remain with the uncanny valley, the robots of the movie.
And it shouldn't even be like intentionally silly, because it should be scary, but just in the context, like even in that first movie when Megan was chasing your man down with the knife sword thing, the thing for the slicer, but she was dancing as well. It's like, this is really silly, but it's very scary in the context for the person in the scene.
It was creepy.
And you might hear some ads here. Welcome back from the ads. So let's move on to then the things that it did well, because I don't want to dwell on the bad things, because I think horror movies can very easily fall into it's just bad. Like, there are bad aspects of it.
Remember them dark days?
Yeah.
Where an awful lot of horror movies were just bad. Like, we're in an era now where horror movies and thriller movies are good and are back. Like, let's keep it going. We're on a good roll with it.
I mean, there's the whole term of elevated horror. You know, people like horror to be good and well acted and scary. Like, I think that's the main point, is that they want it to be scary.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, I don't know about you, when I went to see this, there was about 6 trailers before it, and there were so many horror movies where my dad turned to me and he goes, we'll see that.
Yeah.
Weapons, Conjuring, Together. What else is there?
You know, with movies like Weapons and not Conjuring, that's a franchise now, it's only right, they're cracking them out to make a book. But the likes of Together and Weapons, to me, they're in the horror thriller genre, but I see them as a creative trying to tell a story before trying to make a horror story.
Yeah, it just so happens that it falls under that genre.
Yeah. Because there's so much to it. You know, it's not like someone would say, I'm making a horror movie. No, you're making a movie because you have a story. It just so happens to be in the theme and genre of the horror. But enough about that. We'll get to them when we get to them.
But some of the good aspects. Right?
Because I think we're 40 minutes into the movie. Not this, the movie.
Yeah, I was looking at the time there. I was like, Brian, it's only like 25.
And it was teased that Megan, because, you know, at the end of the last one, the little robot turned the head and lit up. It's like the Siri or the
Google Home, Alexa.
The Google Home, Alexa. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I don't have one.
No.
And now with the ice machine and the electric lights and the drawers that flip open and the robot Hoover, I like the fact that Megan is living in the walls, but is not able to communicate.
Yeah. Well, she was able to communicate. She just chose not to. I think I quite like that sequence as a bit of a Home Alone kind of sequence, you know, when the FBI agents come in and she shoots the Roomba and they flip and fall, and like Yeah, I thought that was creative with what they had.
If a person was doing all that setups, it would come across silly, but we believe it that M3gan would do it because she is an artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
She's calculated when to let the ice run loose and when to open the door and when to have the robot move in that particular direction, only for the guy to step on it and crack his neck.
And without a physical body, that's the limit of what she can do. So I thought that was a little bit creative, at least.
But what I really liked, when she revealed herself to Gemma and she enters on screen into the TV when it's not even on, and then she keeps walking across the walls,
Moving throughout the space,
using the projector, and then she appears in the mirror, which is, I guess, a bit of digital device, and then she enlarges herself onto the wall, trying to convey her threatening, imposing, dominant power.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't have a body.
I like the reluctant people having to work together. And I like the fact that it came from M3gan, as opposed to the heroes, we have to work with the villain, we have to go convince them.
Yeah.
But it's the villain, in fact, convincing the heroes, we need to work together.
Yeah.
And it will be mutually beneficial for the two of us.
Because the last one ended with, don't think M3gan cares all too much about protecting Katie.
No, I could have fully seen this being a sequel that doesn't feature any of the original actors, and it's just M3gan has gone into the cloud and she's found a way to get a new body or something like that. In the same way that, like, Chucky eventually, Child's Play, he moved on from the original kid that he was trying to kill. Andy Barclay. He was originally trying to kill him for the first 3 films.
Yeah.
And then after that, he moved on.
I don't know. I like the fact that these characters came back.
I like it too, but I could easily have seen, like, that could have been an avenue they went down.
I think I could easily see now in a third one they could go off into new characters. That M3gan would go off on her own.
I feel less so based on the ending to this one.
Well, yeah,
but I can see it also. Yeah,
like, what I like about the idea now is that M3gan is a celebrity at this point. Like, by the next movie, M3gan could be a celebrity in the world of the movies.
Yes.
And everyone will love her and praise her and just want to be with her, just like they want to be with the likes of Chappelle Roan or Dua Lipa or Charlie XCX or Sabrina Carpenter, all of them, right? Yet M3gan is, for better or worse, a character who has a family, and when the fans will go up to the family members, you're so lucky that you get to see M3gan every day, and she's in your life, and she's part of your family. And like, yeah, but you knowing a celebrity is different from me knowing them as a member of my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the relationship they have with each other is different from what the rest of the world perceives them. And I don't know, maybe that could be a little thing that come into it, because when when she's dancing in the first movie, that was just something for the fans, and it just spiraled out, I think. But the suits came up, we have to have M3gan dancing in this one.
Yeah.
And when she's dancing in front of the crowd, feels like that's the first big step for her to be a celebrity, because I think in some of the trailers there are fans and M3ganists and who are like devotees.
You could see that, yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And like they're all clamoring to see her, and like she would be like, yeah, like, blow them a kiss, wink at them, wave at them, and she'll rough them off like, don't need them, and like losers, or she gets a kick out of egging them on, giving them a show.
I quite like the fact that M3gan is a very sassy character. I like the fact that that's not something that she's learned either. She's always been that way.
Yeah, she's a real shit talker.
The way she talks to Gemma in this, some of the lines she comes out with are like laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? I think when they're talking on comms or something like that, and Gemma says something, and M3gan just turns around like with everyone on comms, and she's like, wow, oh my god, Gemma just gave us the best idea ever, why don't we all applaud her, or like something like that. And it was just it was hilarious. And then as well, you
wouldn't want her slagging you.
No, not at all. Like, what do you give back? Like, because
like,
you know that anything you give back, she's gonna come back 10 times worse.
Yeah, like even when she's squaring off against Amelia, she said, what are you gonna do, tuck me in bed, help me with my homework? No, but I think I'll take you to school. Like, it's she's quick.
It's that kind of like like Bond or like Terminator, like one-liners of like, throwing someone into a freezer and it's like chill out or something like that. She has that down as well, and I think it's been a long time since we've had a character like that does give off the cheesy one-liners.
Yeah.
And I think coming from M3gan, they are quite funny.
The artificial voice of M3gan. Now, that's not exactly how Jenna Davis sounds.
No,
but it's
I like
similar.
it.
I do like it.
Did you ever play the game Portal?
I know Portal.
Yeah, do you know Gladys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like that where like it's someone trying to speak, but there is just a certain inflection in their voice that's artificial. I quite like it.
I don't know what it is to describe it, where the pronunciation of some of their sentences, it goes up or heavy low.
Yeah, the inflection is incorrect on certain words and goes up and down. I like as well that her mouth just moves.
Yeah,
it's not. She's not saying words. It's just moving for the, I suppose, the comfort of the person she's talking to. Because there's often times where she's talking on comms, but her mouth isn't moving at all. Yeah. I quite like that aspect of like, oh yeah, that makes sense for the...
Yeah, well, she doesn't need it. It's just for show. It's just for the surface.
Yeah, to comfort the person that's talking.
Yeah. Even being like fucking cheeky, saying, trying to listen into the audio of what your man was saying, and
that's very funny.
She faults it and makes it sound like I have a yeasty in my vagina.
Yeah. I have a yeast infection in my vagina, and they're like, show us what he actually said. It's got a 99% accuracy. And you go, rewind it, and he's like, I have a lot of respect for China. And I thought that was just it's very funny. It's like M3gan won't harm Gemma, but that doesn't mean that she has to like her.
Yeah,
she's like,
she full on screws with her and plays with her head, bullies her nearly. Oh no, that's so sad about Gemma.
I've been tracking your pornography history, basically. He's not your type.
Oh look, you must be aroused from all this fighting.
Yeah.
At this point, it's reluctant co-parenting with Katie. Like, she's the fun parent. That's what it seems to be going into. Even though she's the same height as Katie, like, she's a teenager, but she's grown up fast. And that's another thing I liked about this. There was a lot of this movie where she would stir the pot and talk the shit about all the things she's done and the excuses, but she did throughout make a few apologies and try to justify the actions she made. But then there came to a point where Katie was kidnapped by Amelia, and that Gemma was still fucking banging the pot and just poking the bear, saying this is all your fault because of how you behave. And she stood her ground. M3gan stood her ground and said, I'm done apologizing. When I made those decisions, I was a child. You made me this way. So I
was just doing what my main purpose you created me to do.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do.
And I like that. Oh shit. If you keep kicking the dog when they're down, they're going to stand up and bark.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's what M3gan did here. She stood her ground. And because of all the characters she killed in the first movie were nameless characters, say a dog, which I like that they brought that up, we don't care. Going forward now, anyone M3gan kills is going to be a nameless, red shirt, no face person we all can't wait to see get killed.
Yeah.
She's no longer going to be bad. Like, even in the van, immediately after when she's standing up to Gemma, immediately after Amelia kidnapped Katie, she said, this is all your fault. If you didn't put this chip in my neck, I would have been able to rescue Katie. I would have been able to kill Amelia. And then she smashes the TV in the back of the van. Remember, she's full on being...
She's emotional, which is not something that you get from robots. And they explore that a little bit, where even Katie says, like, why would she be feeling this way? She shouldn't feel this way at all. She's trying to convince Gemma that no, she is more of a person.
Yeah.
And she has evolved, I suppose, in the time between the first movie and the second movie, where she does feel bad about certain things.
She feels somewhat bad.
Like, even when they go down into the bunker under the house and M3gan comes out and she's like, oh, I don't want you to see me this way. I was like, why would you care? Like the fact that she has feelings, that she feels embarrassed, that she has feelings at all, really.
Like the fact that she shut the door to keep everyone else in the main area of the bunker, but she wanted to see Katie to herself. Like, and immediately she's talking about, look what I have in your room. Look, I made everything for you. Look, we can do this. We can play with that. We can colour. She's trying to make her feel comfortable in her own home environment. She cares about her. And I like that they doubled down on that, or at least they didn't shy away from that. That they retained the fact that M3gan cares for Katie. I like seeing that there.
Yeah. What do you think of the singing scene?
I loved it.
Did you actually?
So it's not that I got goosebumps or emotional about it, but in the first one she's singing Titanium, and in this one here she's singing it to Gemma, a Kate Bush song, This Woman's Work.
I liked it, but it went on just a little bit too long. For how the scene ended.
Yeah.
Where Gemma like puts her hand over her mouth and is like, all right, enough of the bullshit, and then pulls out the chip.
Yeah.
I was like, the song has just gone a little bit too long for then that reaction. Like, that should have been like, Megan should have started the song, but Gemma just kept letting her go. She's like, do not take this to the chorus, and then got to the chorus, and then she did it, and I was like, you should have stopped this a little bit earlier on.
Okay, but first, I wanted to hear the chorus because I was digging the scene. I was liking the song.
Yeah.
But secondly, there was a few times where Gemma would try to speak and interrupt, and Megan knows she as a person singing in this situation is something people don't do, but it's something that Megan does. And with Gemma trying to interrupt her, she's like, shh, 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 putting her finger over me, trying to stop her. It's like, no, I'm doing
Let this happen. Yeah.
I'm doing this. And then Gemma tries to get up, and she just grabs her arm and sits her down again. It's like, you're not leaving until I finish this. Like, she didn't sing this song intentionally for Gemma to remove the chip. No, it's just something Megan does.
It's her empathy thing, isn't it? That's what she says. And Gemma sees right through it. She's like, I don't need this bullshit empathy. I need you to find Katie.
But she was singing to Katie in the first movie, Titanium.
That's why it's completely not valid, but like, it's within character that she would do this. This is a part of her programming, like reassurance, like, okay, and now I'll sing a song, you know?
like going forward now, when we get a M3gan 3.0,
M3gan 3,
we have to get a scene where she's singing a song that might generate a few tears or emotions or goosebumps. Also, a dance scene.
Yeah.
What did you think of the dance scene?
The dance scene in the
this one.
Within the AI convention.
Yeah, where she's...
I thought it was good. It was like, I think that scene lends what you're saying about, you know, a possibility that, Megan could become a celebrity. Like, the fact that she's able to just
draw a card, have everyone draw their attention to her, and she's wearing this... It's a cool, cute robot rocking suit. Like the pink, and then the hair, and then the goggles she's wearing. I like the whole thing. And then she's doing the robot dance. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't, you know, the TikTok one in the first movie.
Yeah.
But this one was more like pop and rock type of thing.
You could see her being a celebrity or a pop star within this world in the next one. And even when it gets to the point where she does the spin and her head stays exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, the jig is up. It's like, okay, yeah, but like now in a third movie where she's a celebrity, that's a, you know, they're all waiting for her to do like robotic
that's
things.
going to be her signature thing then.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be, what the fuck? Everyone's going to be cheering her on.
Yeah.
So I like that there.
And here might be some ads. Welcome back from the ads.
So pretty much everything they've done with Megan, I liked. We can talk about her in the third act towards the end, but is there anything else in this movie that you liked or disliked or just did not give a fuck?
So I suppose, like, Amelia. How do you feel about Amelia? Because I felt as though she was too human-like. There was no uncanny valley with her at all. Because it is just the actress.
Yeah. Make no mistake, that is a mask that the actress is wearing to portray Megan. Because of the overinflated eyes and the artificial skin. Yeah. Whereas Amelia is an actress. It's your one from Ahsoka.
Oh, it is Shin Hati. Yes. I was trying to figure out where I knew her from, and I couldn't place her. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
Look, she lends her features as a person, as a human being, does lend themselves to come across as a robot with a bit of makeup and hair.
I don't know. I didn't think so.
Well, I don't really have much of an issue with it. You know, like, it is what it is.
You know who I kind of compared her to?
Who?
Palm Clemente in the 2 Mission Impossible movies.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like, as in that she doesn't appear robotic in any way visually. Now I know I guess that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But there should have been something to her that is like that. The uncanny valley should have been there.
What about Ex Machina? The one with Alicia Vikander as a robot and Donald Gleason and Oscar Isaac.
that's like saying, what about Terminator? You know, like it's different.
But Terminator does look human.
Yeah, but so does Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, and so does your one here who plays Amelia. They all look human. And
but we started out with Megan.
But
it's different. They're different franchises.
Why should that dictate it though? Just because it started off, why should it? Why should it be limited? Well, because this robot was created in this certain way to look like a bit Uncanny Valley. Well, then that means everyone else going forward who is a robot has to look like Uncanny Valley.
I think it's just having a consistent vibe. It's having a consistent form with it.
Okay, but when it comes to the themes and the popularity of M3gan, and as we just established, dancing and singing and the shit talking character, I thought, even though they switched genres, I thought it's consistent enough, and I think going forward it's going to be more consistent. Like, remember John Wick 1? Mm-hmm. Compare that first one to the fourth one.
Yeah.
They're nearly different movies altogether. Like, the first M3gan was one thing, now it's a franchise where it's finding its footing. And I don't know how I would feel to have the actress who played Amelia to look like a grown-up Powerpuff Girl with the big eyes and the...
No, well, I agree with you on that. I think that if I were to meet you halfway, still have her look like that, but have her voice be the same as M3gan's. Not the exact same actress, but like, you know, the modulation and the GLaDOS thing.
The modulation. I thought there was a bit of that in there somewhere.
Not enough. That there needs to be something there that... Because I can understand that she's obviously a military asset and she's supposed to go undercover and stuff like that.
Well, just because a man wearing a suit, chewing gum,
told me that, yeah.
It doesn't mean it should be taken with seriousness.
So I can understand it from that perspective, but I think that there should be some level, because otherwise it's a world where Gemma and her friends are making this exoskeleton.
Yes.
But yet there are people walking around the world that are full-on cyborgs that are undetectable from human beings.
Well, it's just one.
One, but if you make one, you can make more.
Well, there will be more if they make a new one, but I think we're getting too deep into a conversation about the surface level chit chat that is of M3gan.
Yeah.
You know, like this is a fun chit chat. Like, when do we start diving deep into what should and shouldn't be into a movie such as M3gan?
I did like the fact that Amelia, once later on in the third act, when she gained her own self-governance,
yes,
that it was full on just no, everyone is dead.
Yeah,
my makers, the people that have been in control of me, you're dead.
Yeah,
you're gone.
What did you make of the little part where she woke up and she
was M3gan again?
She was the initial first day born M3gan.
I liked it. I think that was the whole thing when they looked into her code and they couldn't see what the prime directive was.
Yeah,
and because it was M3gan's, it was protect Katie.
Yeah,
do you know, or like it was protect whoever you're paired with or whatever exactly it was. I liked it that it's going back, but then that she wasn't just another version of M3gan that say
she was a young, bright, naive, nearly M3gan.
Not that I was afraid that maybe by the end of it the original M3gan would be dead and gone, and then we would have Amelia be the follow-on. Do you know,
God,
it would be
no,
that.
No,
but
it would be M3gan's,
it would be M3gan's voice with that actress then going forward.
No, don't want that. No. But imagine that young youthful doesn't have a clue about the realities of life compared to the M3gan we know. Yeah. Imagine them two meeting together, and even though Amelia is taller, it would be the M3gan we know looking down at M3gan.
You're so naive, you don't know anything,
and trying to like fucking, oh look, a piece of candy, and she'll go into a box and she'll pull the rope and traps her in a box. Like, so naive. She'd be like the Horrid Henry to the Amelia as Peter. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
But that was open and shut quite quickly for Amelia to gain her self-independence. Yeah,
it's only a matter of a minute, I think, that it is the original M3gan in there, and then she's back to...
She's killed, though, essentially. That M3gan is killed.
They reboot her, and it's back to Amelia with her own self-governance, and she goes on a killing spree of everyone in the facility.
I thought it was a bit of an interesting one, that everyone in the facility were non-government officials. They were all concerned citizens.
To be honest with you, that was when I checked out a little bit. Once we got to that area, and I was like, okay, why are all these people here? Who are all these people? And I was like, okay.
Make no mistake, David.
So did you.
I thought the most interesting thing was, this piece of wood seems to be coming across quite decent as an actor, but by the simple fact that it can talk. But Jesus Christ, that fucking Elon Musk wannabe really, really fucking... Was he even miscast, I wonder?
Don't know. Yeah, there wasn't much to him at all. Like,
it's not that there wasn't
even
much
as a
to
villain,
him, but the way he'd speak to you, it'd be as if it'd be condescending and it'd be like patronizing, but he'd never raise his voice. It'll just be always be so very monotone. It's very set level of volume.
Yeah.
Like his dialect would be. I fucking could not stand him. Especially after when it was revealed that he was villain, which I didn't think they were going to do.
No.
Christian, like.
Yeah, the fact that everyone keeps calling him Christian.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's actually Christian.
I think I just shut off at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think overall this movie does not work without everything that is devoted to the character of Megan.
Yeah, she is the star. She is the main focus of it, really.
You could do more movies where it's Megan and none of the other actors could return. You'd like them to return. I'd like to see the colleagues return with the main characters. But yeah, it's just the Megan that's the star.
What do you think about the end where it became kind of like Ghostbusters with Amelia taking control of the AI that's been locked up for about 30 years and she becomes an omnipotent god?
I suppose she did have the white eyes in the end.
Yeah, it felt like what's the name, Gozer in Ghostbusters, you know, coming down.
I mean, at that point, Megan was fucked up to the point, and the likes of Gemma and Katie can't stand up to her. But I mean, first of all, that AI MacGuffin, I can't remember. It's a nothing thing. They could bring it back into the sequel and make
I'd say it's gone now.
I don't care.
No.
Like, they can do whatever they want, but like, it's just a MacGuffin. Like, I like the idea of what they were toying at. That conscience was locked away on its own for 30 years. Imagine what it's gonna feel like when it gets opened up again, when it gets released.
What was the plan?
The plan was to retrieve it and or destroy it.
But from Amelia's perspective.
I don't fucking know. Take over the world.
No, but that was after she had received self-governance.
Access to the grid, to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah, but she was under the control of all those people.
What people?
The non-government people.
Not at this point. Not at this point when she's having the
We are
white
under
glow in the eyes.
we are under the impression that she is looking for that other AI.
Yes.
She needs access to it, but
Yeah.
in actual fact, she's not looking for access to it.
She's being controlled by fucking Planck.
Yeah, she's being controlled by Planck. Planck already has the AI. So, is the plan just to get Gemma to join them then?
Or to take out Megan, which he did not know.
We didn't know existed before the plan had already started.
You see, we were just having a very deep conversation with a bit of depth into it.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about a possible
It's just
major plot hole.
I just realised I don't know what the main characters actually wanted, and that's a bad thing. I know what the end result was, and after something happened, then what the character's goal was, but all of that leading up to it, I don't know what the bad guy's goal was.
I have a tip for you.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But there was no point in that thing where Megan goes and sacrifices herself and kills Amelia did I think, oh yeah, Megan's not going to come back. You know, she definitely made a backup of herself.
Remember them suits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it, man.
Them suits are in charge of Megan.
Yeah.
So we've had the fun, we've had the pop, we've had the dance, we've had the singing. Now she's got to be the Tom Cruise and fucking jump off a cliff and paraglide into the facility.
Yeah. It was like, whatever. Like, I mean, if you're going to go, at least they committed to doing the action adventure stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if we're going to get rid of the horror stuff, at least go full on with the action. So I think some of the action set pieces, some of the fight sequences were quite good. I thought some of the camera work with like the movement of the bodies and stuff like that.
I thought, whoa, that's cool. Like, oh, whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because
the bodies can move their bodies unnaturally and not something that humans can do. So the camera kind of follows that. And I was like, okay, that's actually interesting.
You're going with their gravity.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I liked the moment when Megan and Gemma were connected and then they were kind of sharing the body and Gemma gets knocked out but Megan is still there, so like the body kind of raises up as it did I think in the first movie. Like,
I remember that. She's just standing there like looking like the Grudge or the Ring, and then Megan taking control of the bodies, taking them out. I like that. Want me to take over and she takes them all out, but then she lets Gemma take over and takes the punt, and then Gemma takes them out. It's like, whoa, Gemma, easy girl, steady girl.
I know you're getting a thirst for it, but save it for the others.
Save for the rest of them. We got a little crawling attack.
Yeah. I thought in that sequence, I wasn't expecting her to crawl.
Yeah.
As the smoke was coming, I thought that we were going to get another dancing sequence.
I thought we were going to get another little dance one as well, where she come in dancing. But she comes in dancing like your man has a gun.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Stand
That's
there
true.
and start clapping? It's like, yeah,
that's true.
Go girl.
If you could have what was the song that played in the original one, the dance scene?
It was just a bit of dubstep.
Just a bit of dubstep. If you could have her dance to a song, like a fight dance, what would you?
A fight dance?
Yeah, like a song playing and she's essentially fighting everyone, but like dancing along almost.
Maybe Florence and the Machine.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, a bit of Florence and the Machine. Maybe Cosmic Love, or I don't know, a good Florence and the Machine song, but it wouldn't be as poppy. It would be more opera, a bit majestic, something to see the beauty in fight dancing.
Yeah.
You know, like you're obviously gonna be laughing at it, but Megan's taking it seriously, like she would take seriously singing in a unnatural environment.
Yeah.
What did you make of the fight she had with Amelia, and the fact that this is, you know, the boss fight, it's the last stand, and she's going to try and take her out, and like she gets her fists up and she makes her pose move to karate chop, and you know her jaw comes off.
There's something that loses me in those fights where I know neither character is feeling pain, so it's kind of like, why are we fighting at all?
Oh,
like,
I never thought that.
Yeah, like it happens in I was watching Alien Covenant recently, and David and Walter are fighting, and I'm like, okay, neither of you can feel pain, so you're just like punching for the sake of it.
Let me ask you this then. Every time we see one Terminator fight another, are you thinking that?
No, because I feel as though anytime a Terminator is fighting another Terminator, there's a goal where the bad Terminator is trying to kill the target,
yes,
and the other one is trying to defend, like either to stop it or to defend that person, to give them a chance to get away.
But how is that not an element in this fight here, with Amelia trying to take over the world and kill anyone in her way, and Megan trying to stop her from doing that reason?
Because I think that a lot of it is just like, every hit should be an attempt to kill the person. Like every hit should be trying to disable them in some way, but like punching them in the stomach does nothing really. You know, it should just be like a...
Yeah, but I'm thinking when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robert Patrick are pushing each other against the walls, and the first round of hitting each wall does nothing, and then the next round goes into the concrete wall, and then through the other plastered wall, and then through the glass. It's like, and then he just walks away. They're not... I don't know, like... That's a strange one. I've never thought about that before, and I get you, because it's correct. It's right. Every punch they land on each other does not factor any pain. But I don't know, like maybe you're a bit too elevated for me.
I don't know.
It
just kind of switches my, like, the direct comparison I can give you, right? And we can move on from it after this. You know, in John Wick 4, the way he has a bulletproof suit, and there are other people that also have bulletproof suits, but yet they continue shooting at each other.
Yeah, you might land a lucky shot.
Yeah, you might, but it's just it becomes useless. It's like, okay, why would I care then? If you both have bulletproof suits, why are you shooting at each other? Change the fight. Change it to a physical fight, because if we're both wearing bulletproof stuff, why are either of us bothering with guns?
Well, John Wick ducking his head under his jacket to dodge the bullets because of the bulletproof suit is one of his few signature moves now.
And that's fine.
And the ballerina changed the fight in that movie.
But if both characters have bulletproof suits, change the fight. Don't do that.
I don't know. I can't. I see what you're coming from.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You don't have to agree with me, but as long as you see where I'm coming from. But I also see where you're coming from. Like it's
like, they are fighting, and I thought, Megan's hair is getting quite rowdy, roughed up. Like her jaw's nearly hanging off, and she's damaged enough. Like, remember when everyone was kidnapped and Plank brings his goons who are carrying Megan's corpse, and she's all beaten up and tortured. It's like, and then she's looking up at Gemma, and Gemma's looking down at her. I'm like, I feel very concerned about Megan's safety right now, even though she doesn't feel pain. She can't talk because of the jaw hanging off. And this is a serious moment here. And then Plank gives Gemma the... He's a fucking Plank.
I know, yeah, it's kind of funny, yeah.
He hands Gemma the electric shock bat to kill her. And then Megan crawls into the corner under the stairs like, oh, she's like a hurt little puppy. And then Gemma's gonna go put her down. Felt very scared, but I also see a bit of scared Megan in there. Even though she's not scared, she's just knows if she dies, she's not able to protect Katie, which is her sole objective. But she even gets more torched up in her face with one bomb blowing up on her, and then that's when she has her little sacrificial speech, her sacrificial moment where she tries to take out Amelia, and you know, are you a god? What the Amelia Gozer says to Megan, and I see everything. Well, you didn't see this bitch, and the DMP charge blew them up. I liked all that.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't think anything bad of it, but I was just a bit like, okay, I know Megan's not dead though. Like, are we gonna? Is she gonna be revealed in this movie or?
But I wasn't looking at my watch thinking, all right, come on, now hurry up, let's get to the end. And it's like, no, because of how much I dig the character now, especially in this movie as opposed to the previous. I'm happy to spend whatever time we have with Megan when she's on screen because of the nature of the character. Megan would walk in here right now, she'd be taking us to fucking school. It'd be fun to watch, not to be part of. No, it won't, it'd be fun to watch, won't be fun to be the victim of it. But yeah, I liked it. And I'm like, okay, now how is she going to come back? Because she has to come back somehow. Is she still somewhere in the house? Which is a cool idea, you know. Imagine that being a concept for a Black Mirror.
Yeah,
that
definitely is.
It's a cool concept. I thought, like, imagine going home and, you know, every person should have a dog.
There is an episode of Black Mirror like that.
Oh yeah,
with the Christmas episode.
Yeah, the White Christmas. Yeah, but the way that Megan did it, because she can appear on a screen. And she's there, and then you can talk to her, or she appears in the mirror, which she does a few times. But then she'll have a physical manifestation in that of any household technical device, like the Alexa or the Hoover that sweeps up, or the ice machine. Like, if someone does that, that's Megan communicating to you, and I like that. Like, I like that idea.
I liked the other little body that she was in. I thought that was pretty cute.
How did we forget about bringing this up? The little Teletubby. I like immediately she wakes up and it's like she has her conscience put into that little Teletubby body, which is more like the White Christmas thing device, but she has like a little digital face. Yeah, I like that she wakes up and she's like, "Ugh, where am I?" You know, when you wake up, you're a little bit disorientated.
Yeah, bit groggy. Yeah.
Or the animators did that little design of her, and she's looking at her body like, "What the fuck is this?" Like the delivery of that line, I really like that. And yeah, you're saying
there's something about having it be such a cute version.
Yeah.
But then having it curse, I just think that it works so well.
That's another Black Mirror with the
Miley Cyrus
one.
Yeah.
That was more akin to that one. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would like to have the Megan as the body, the typical traditional looking Megan. But I'd like to have a copy of Megan in that little Teletubby as well,
that would be fun.
as the shit stirrer.
Like, that'd be the one that controls the house.
Yeah,
that's the one that does all the stuff for you. Yeah,
I do like that. And then she's carrying around. She's posing a smile because
she's supposed to be pretending that she's not Megan. She's supposed to be this other assistant.
But then she'll try to connect her into the hardware machines where she's, you know, doing gadgets or whatever. Like I'm not paying attention to the science or the tech talk of this movie, but like she's got a serious pose and a serious tone. You know, like shit's being done now.
Yeah,
I do like that. And then she's talking to Amelia. You know, I think we can come together to agree on a few things. She just steps on the thing. It's like, oh, kind of like that little Teletubby device. And she called it Teletubby, not us. So, yeah, I like that device. They should bring that back nearly.
Yeah, I'd like to see that back. Yeah.
But she does come back in a digital form on Gemma's screen. Like, she obviously can still control the house lights and all that, but she's appearing as like a digital version of Megan, like a 2D animation. So it's like, what's that thing in Jurassic Park?
Oh yeah, the DNA sequence,
thing. Yeah, imagine that, but like it'll appear up on our screens right now. So imagine coming home and that's your Megan until.
Well, I think that's just until Gemma makes her a body. Yeah. Like, for the next one, I think the next one, if we do get a third one,
we will.
It will start with Megan already having a body.
Probably a grown-up body now at this point.
Probably.
Imagine Megan now being the height of Gemma.
Yeah.
Like, you're growing up with the character nearly, isn't it? So look, it's funny to think that when I went to this movie, 40 minutes in, I wasn't liking it. As soon as prominent Megan was on screen, I dug it. Because I was contemplating, should we even do an episode on this?
Really?
After all the marketing we did on this, we anticipating it, looking forward to it, even though we did the first one, I was like, not liking this movie. Thought it was poor acting, atrocious bad dialogue, everything until Megan came on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think I feel as though it's not the greatest movie in the world, but I had fun while watching it. You know, if I have to, like, talking about this and like realizing, okay, yeah, you know what, I actually don't know what the plot was, and like there are some very serious plot holes, but while I'm watching it, I'm entertained, or I'm not rolling my eyes or looking at my watch or anything like that. It's perfectly fine.
It's an achievement in its own right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any recommendations before we let these people go?
Yes, I am going to recommend Elio.
Oh, Elio, I didn't see it.
I seen Elio. Yeah,
It's good.
it's charming.
Okay.
It's a nice charming one for a Pixar movie that was made, released a trailer, and supposed to release before Inside Out too.
It's supposed to release before Inside Out. I remember it being delayed, actually. Yeah.
The first trailer came out 2 years ago. And then
2 years ago. Wow, that's a long
first
time.
Trailer.
Yeah.
And it was America Ferrera who was the mom, but then they revamped the story to make the mom be his aunt, and they had Zoe Saldana voice the character because America Ferrera couldn't come back to re-record some lines. So you watch the first trailer.
It's his mom. I'll have to go back and watch it.
And there's multiple scenes in that first trailer. The very, very first one, like 2 years ago, not in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Or alternative takes in the movie.
Yeah.
And the concept originally was Ellie was reluctant to go to space and be abducted by aliens. And
but now he's looking for it.
It's all he wants. And I like that. I like that idea. It wasn't really until the third trailer, and there was like 4 trailers for this movie. 4 trailers, and yet everyone says there was no marketing done for it.
Yeah.
But the third trailer, that's when they introduced that he meets a fellow alien as a best friend.
Yeah.
And it's about him and the adventure he goes on with him, and I like that. It was good, and you know, can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's a more fun space adventure than what Lightyear was.
Okay, interesting.
And that's a shame.
Yeah. I've been trying to go see Elio, but they only are showing it now at like 2:00 screenings in the day.
Really?
Yeah. So like when I finish work, there's no like even 5:30, 6 o'clock screening I go to, but it's only at like, I guess they've just determined that it's a kids movie, and so only kids at 2:00 in the afternoon can see it.
Is that ageism?
It is. It's an ageism against me.
I'd recommend you watch the second trailer that came out.
I will.
Because the second trailer, I thought it was capturing a cosmic vibe. I was like, oh shit, I feel like I'm supposed to feel some goosebumps.
Yeah.
But then the third trailer came out and I was like, I'm having a good time. And then it was the Lady Madonna from Queen song. So I thought, oh, it's not as serious as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, yeah, Elio, it was a good movie, it was a good watch. Not the best, by far, nowhere near the worst.
Okay.
Definitely a good fun watch from Pixar.
I'll recommend then a Pixar movie also. I only watched it there maybe last year, year or two. Turning Red. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed Turning Red. Because I didn't watch it when it first came out. I waited like a year or a year and a half after it had come out.
We all thought Lightyear was going to be the Pixar film of that year. But no, it was Turning Red.
Turning Red. And I really actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. And it should be movies like Elio and Turning Red that should make me look forward to the next Pixar movie. Hoppers.
That's the next one. Hoppers. Okay. Did you watch Win or Lose?
No. That's
a Disney Pixar animated series that's come out, and I actually quite enjoyed that as well. It might not be for everyone. I think it tells the same story of like this 3-day period, but from a different character's perspective each time.
So is it 3 episodes?
No, it's like 10 episodes.
So okay.
So each episode is from a different character's perspective over those 3 days.
Oh, okay.
So you get so it reveals.
It's very hard to. It's a good creation, isn't it?
And it reveals more of the story for certain people as you go along. Because you only get it from certain perspectives.
Probably something kids should watch these days to see. Look, everyone has social anxiety.
Yeah, there's every character is going through something.
Yeah,
you know. Brian, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. As always, we have new episodes every single Wednesday, as well as bonus episodes every other weekend. So make sure that you're following us on your favorite social media platform of choice to never miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out the other podcasts in that network. We have Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who rewatch podcast, as well as the Fishing Trip Files, a Gavin and Stacey rewatch podcast. Still Got Legs comes out every Monday at 10 a.m. and Fishing Trip Files comes out every other Wednesday, also at 10 a.m. So make sure that if you haven't already, check those out. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
You heard it here first, folks. M3gan 2.0.
I think it'll be M3gan Gen 3.
Gen 3?
Yeah, I think they'll do something with Generation 3 or third generation. I think it's too clean to just do 3.0. It's too obvious. So they'll do something else.
2027.
2027. Put it in your calendars.
Well, 2022 was Megan. What was it?
23,
yeah.
25. I could see 27.
Yeah.
Late 27. Or summer.
Yeah.
We'll see. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, David.